Hello friends, today we would like to describe about substation. The definition of the substation is, it is defined as an assemble of apparatus which change the characteristics of electric supply from one form to another. Say for example from alternating current to direct current or from one voltage level to another level. Now, the introduction of the substation. Nowadays, the electrical power is generated at generating stations which are located at favorable places, generally far away from the consumers. The electrical power delivered to the consumers from generating stations through a large network of transmission and distribution. At many places of the transmission lines, it is desirable and necessary to change some characteristics, example voltage, AC to DC conversion, frequency, power factor, etc. of electric supply. It can be achieved by suitable apparatus called substation. Example, at generating stations, the generating voltage 11 kV or 6.6 kV is stepped up to 400 kV or 220 kV or 132 kV for transmission of electrical power. Next, need for substation. Electrical power is generated at generating stations. These stations which are located far away from the different consumers, as we know that there is no storage device for electrical power. Hence the generator power must be conveyed to the consumer premises with less transmission and distribution losses. In order to fulfill the above conditions, we need a special apparatus system which changes the characteristics of electric supply from one form to another is called substation. Now, functions of substations. To convert AC into DC or vice versa known as power converting operation. To convert frequency from higher to lower or vice versa known as frequency converting operation. Next, third point is to improve the power factor by installing synchronous condensers at the end of the line known as power factor correction operation. Next, to switch on and off the power lines known as switching operation. And finally, to transform voltage from higher to lower or vice versa known as voltage transformation operation. The substations are classified into different types. First one is type of service, static and converting. And second one, type of function, distribution, power factor, frequency changer, extra high voltage transmission, and industrial. Type of control, manual, automatic, and remote. Next, type of design or location, indoor substation, outdoor substation, and finally underground substation. Type of equipment, transformer, rotary converter, rectifier, motor generator, frequency changer. On the basis of operating voltage, HV substations between 11 kV and 66 kV. HV means high voltage substations. EHV, extra high voltage substation between 132 kV and 400 kV. UHV, ultra high voltage substation above 400 kV. Now discuss about types of substations. First, static substation. In static substation, primary substations, secondary substations, and distribution substations. First, primary substations means which receive power from a local generating station and step up its voltage from primary transmission. Next, secondary substation is which receive power from primary substations through primary transmission lines at voltages above 66 kV and step down its voltage to 33 kV or 11 kV for secondary transmission or primary distribution. Next, distribution substation. When the voltages are transformed to low values for use of household consumers and other small power consumers, such transformation stations are called distribution substations. Converting substation means the substations converting AC power into DC power are called converting substations. Industrial substation. For big industrial consumers who need bulk, it is always advisable to install an individual substation. Such substations are called as industrial substations. Power factor correction substations or synchronous substations. Due to the presence of inductance and capacitance in the transmission lines, a large variations in voltage and power factor will occur. Hence, for controlling the receiving end voltage and power factor, it becomes necessary to install synchronous condensers at the end of line. Such substations are called as synchronous substations. Next, frequency changer substation. Sometimes in industries, for utilization purpose, different frequencies are to be used. Hence, the normal frequency is converted into other frequencies. The substation which convert the normal frequency into other are called frequency changer substations. And indoor substations. When the atmosphere is contaminated with impurities such as gases, foams, and dust particles, etc., is known as indoor substations. Next, outdoor substations, pole mounted substations, outdoor substations, and underground substations are classified. First of all, pole mounted substation. The substation equipment is installed on H pole or 4 pole structure with suitable platforms in outdoor. This type of substations are called as pole mounted substations. These are very economical for voltage levels up to 11 kV and are mainly used for distribution purpose only. Next, outdoor substations. For voltage beyond 66 kV, the clearance between conductors and the space required for switches, circuit breakers and other equipments becomes so high. Hence, it is not economical to install the equipments indoor. Therefore, for above 66 kV, the substation equipment is placed in outdoor with suitable platforms. Such types of substations are called outdoor substations. Next, underground substations. In thickly populated areas, the space available for equipment and building is limited and the cost of land is high. Under such substations, the substations are placed in underground, hence it is called as underground substations. Advantages of outdoor substations over indoor substations. First of all, the construction work required is much smaller. All the equipments are visible and hence it is easy for fault identification. Next, as no building is necessary, hence less quantity of material is needed. Erection can be completed with lesser time. The extension of the scheme is easier. Installation cost of switchgear is low. Next, disadvantages of outdoor substations over indoor substations. First of all, the switching and maintenance of equipment becomes difficult during rainy season. More space is required for the substation. The maintenance cost is more because dust and dirt deposition is more in outdoor substation apparatus. These are prone to lightning strokes. Next, merits of gas insulator substations over conventional substations. First of all, operating personnel are protected by the earth metal enclosures, hence the safety is more. Reliability is more as the all live parts protected with a high insulation system. It requires only 10% of the space for construction of the substation compared to other substations. It requires less time for assembly of parts. Demerits of gas insulator substations over conventional substations. Procurement of SF6 gas and supply of gas to the site is problematic. Cost is higher compared to other. This requires separate building. Maintaining cleanliness is very important, otherwise due to dust or moisture inside the compartment causes flashover. If any faults occurs internally, the outage period is very long. The damage effects will be severe as compared to other substations. Here friends, comparison between outdoor substations and indoor substations and gas insulator substations. First of all, space is required in outdoor substations is more and less, and gas insulated is only 10% space is required, and erection time is less, more, less. Future expansion easy, difficult, easy. Identification of fault easy, difficult, difficult. Operation difficult, easier, costly. Maintenance cost more, less. Possibility of fault less, more, less. Possibility of lightning strokes more, free from lightning strokes, less. Possibility of formation of dust and grit more, less. Now, equipments used in substations. First of all, bus bars, insulators, transformers, switchgear, indicating and metering equipment, protective relays, lightning arresters, cables, firefighting equipment, etc. Bus bars. Bus bar terms is used for a bar or conductor carrying an electric current to which many functions may be made. When a number of lines operating at the same voltage have to be directly connected electrically, bus bars are used as the common electrical component. Shows the bus bar arrangement in substation. The incoming and outgoing lines in a substation are connected to the bus bar. The bus bars used in substations are usually copper or aluminum. This is the one bus R RYB in 220 kV. Now, insulators. The insulators serve two purposes. They support the conductors and confine the current to the conductors. There are several types of insulators used in substation. One is pin type, suspension type, strain type, disc type, post insulators, bushings. We discuss about pin type insulator. In pin type insulator, a groove, this is the groove, a groove is placed on top side of the insulator for housing the conductor. This type of insulators are used 33 kV. Here again suspension insulator and strain insulator and disc type insulator. For operating voltage above 33 kV, the pin type insulators are uneconomical. Hence, suspension insulators are used for above 33 kV. It consists of a number of disc insulators connected in series by metal links in the form of string. The conductor is suspended at the bottom end of string. This is the post insulator and this is the bushings. The post insulator consists of a porcelain body, cast iron cap and flanged cast iron base as shown in figure. These are directly connected to busbar clamp. And bushings. Bushing consists of porcelain shell body. It mainly consists of washer at the top and bottom for fixing the position of busbar or rod in shell and mounting flange with holes drilled for fixing bolts and supplied with an earth bolt is shown in figure. Switchgear protection. Switchgear operation is required for controlling and protecting the equipments during normal and abnormal conditions. Switchgear equipments used in substations generally comprises of following, namely isolators, air brake switches, circuit breakers and fuses. Isolators. In substations, it is desired to disconnect a part of system for general maintenance and repair. This is accomplished by using an isolator. An isolator is essentially a knife switch and is designed to open a circuit under no load. First isolator is pantograph isolator. Second one is double break isolator. These are the single break isolator. These are the types of isolators. This is the working of pantograph isolator. Now, circuit breaker. A circuit breaker is a protective device which makes or breaks a circuit either manually or automatically under no load, full load, and short circuit conditions. Circuit breaker functions to carry full load current continuously, to open and close the circuit on no load, to make and break the circuit for abnormal operations, to make and break the short circuit currents of magnitude up to which is designed. Circuit breaker types based on voltage: low voltage circuit breaker, high voltage circuit breaker, air circuit breaker, oil, vacuum, SF6, MCCB is molded case circuit breaker, single pole circuit breaker. This is the pneumatic circuit breaker and this is the spring circuit breaker. Fuses. A fuse is a short piece of metal inserted in the circuit which melts when exclusive current flows through it and thus breaks the circuit. In general, fuses may be classified into two types, namely voltage low voltage fuse and high voltage fuse. Low voltage fuse. This is the revariable fuse. This is the HRC fuse. The revariable fuse is up to 500 amps, 400 volts. It is operated, and HRC fuse is 1600 amps, 440 volts. It is operated. Next, high voltage fuses. Cartridge fuse up to 8700 amps, 33 kV. Metal oxide fuse 10,000 amps, 66 kV. This is the liquid type fuses, 5000 amps, 66 kV. It is operate. Next, indicating and metering purpose. Ammeters, voltmeters, power factor meters, watt meters, kWh meters, kVARH meters are installed in the substation to control and maintain a watch over the currents flowing in the circuits and over the power loads. Protective relays. A protective relay is a device which detects the fault and initiates the operation of the circuit breaker to isolate the defective element from the rest of the system. In substations, the following protective relays are mainly used, namely overcurrent relays, earth fault relays, and Buchholz relays, differential relays. This is the overcurrent relay, this is the Buchholz relay, this is the earth fault relay, and this is the differential or distance relay. The overcurrent relay provides protection mainly against phase-to-phase faults and overloading. The earth fault relay provides protection against only earth fault. Buchholz relay provides protection against all kinds of incipient faults, that is insulation failure, oil heating due to leaky joints, and the distance relay provides protection against earth and phase faults. Lightning arresters. A lightning arrestor is a protective device which conducts a high voltage surge on the power system network to the ground. Types of lightning arresters: spare gap arrestor, horn gap arresters, multiple gap arresters, impulse protective arresters, electrolytic, explosive type, valve type, ferrite type, auto valve, oxide film, metal oxide, lightning arrestor, road gap arrestor. This is the figures of the lightning arresters. During the normal operation conditions, the lightning arrestor is off the line, that is, it will not allow any current to earth. During the over voltage accuracy, the air insulation across the gap breaks down and an arc is formed, providing a low resistance path for the surge to the ground. In this way, excess charge on the line due to surge is conducted to the ground through the lightning arrestor. Next, cables. Cables. In substations, all the relays and measuring instruments are operated at 110 volts or 220 volts. For this purpose, cables of 600 volts insulation grade are generally used, and these are laid in trenches, cable trays, and in sometimes in conduits. Usually PVC cables are used in substations. Finally, firefighting equipment. Generally, the substations are provided with an adequate capacity of firefighting equipment. Firefighting equipment installed are cylinders of carbon dioxide, sand and water buckets. All the firefighting equipments are placed conveniently and painted with red color paint for the purpose of easy identification. Okay friends, if you like our videos, please subscribe our channel and press bell icon for latest updates. Thank you to all.